Good evening. The city is saying it will cost at least $30 million for a temporary fix of the bridge, and that could still be a year and a half or more away. Long term, it will likely take a massive package of financing to help reconnect the West Seattle Peninsula. West Seattle has a lot going for it: the water, the trails, and those views, which now includes an empty, cracking concrete span.
Is utterly stunning.
That's decade-long King County Council member and third-generation West Seattleite Joe McDermott. You'd think he would have been consulted about the bridge. As a West Seattleite yourself, I mean, were you aware of any cracking that had been taking place since 2013?
I wasn't aware of anything until I got a call from the mayor's office on March 23rd.
So no prior warning to that date?
None.
He now wants answers and an immediate plan after the city announced the bridge, used under normal circumstances by 100,000 drivers a day, was deemed unsafe and in need of total replacement. Did somebody screw up in their assessment of the bridge?
No, the problem we have is there's some things you can't predict.
Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan says a long-term replacement could be connected to the planned light rail line.
I'm going to talk to Sound Transit. We know we have to build a bridge for Sound Transit. Is there a way to combine those two bridges?
The then West Seattle Freeway has seemed doomed ever since it was opened back in 1984, prompted by delays with the old Duwamish drawbridges and damage from a freighter. It will take hundreds of millions of dollars today to reconstruct.
This is a statewide issue. This isn't just a West Seattle local issue.
McDermott says there are opportunities for partnerships with the need to keep freight and ferries moving too. But still, on this clearest of Seattle days, the immediate future for this stretch remains cloudy. For now, Durkan told me the lower span will be reserved for transit and emergency travel only. There are still questions about load capacity there, and engineers are testing that span as well. In West Seattle, I'm Chris Daniels, King 5 News.
We asked the King 5 investigators to dig into bridge inspection documents. One of the things that Chris Ingalls turned up is the man who warned Washington state officials that the West Seattle Bridge could actually collapse.
Engineers here in Washington might have thought the problems with the West Seattle Bridge were manageable, but everything changed after they talked to a university professor in Canada.
My name is Evan Bentz, and here I am at the University of Toronto. Been professor here since the year 2000.
Dr. Evan Bentz, seen in this University of Toronto video, literally helped write the book on building codes for bridge construction in North America. In Washington, state engineers and consultants working on the West Seattle Bridge project turned to him for his well-known expertise predicting whether a structure could fail.
And so the question is, should the structure be taken down? Should the structure be evacuated and everyone removed?
Photos of the growing cracks in the West Seattle Bridge showed Dr. Bentz that vertical cracks are quickly nearing horizontal cracks. Here, they're just under 1.5 feet apart. According to this report delivered to the city on March 20th, Bentz concluded that the bridge is forming crack patterns consistent with reaching a collapse mechanism. The upper deck of the West Seattle Bridge was closed 3 days later.
So my goal is to better understand the behavior of structures.
Dr. Bentz declined to speak with King 5 today without permission from transportation officials in Washington. Dr. Bentz said a collapse is not imminent, but it's clear that he helped convince engineers here in Washington that the bridge is deteriorating much faster than they thought and is unsafe, period. Chris Ingalls, King 5 News.